And now we're on to our second item. I know we have some folks from the mayor's office who would like to just introduce this memo honoring the Grateful Dead in San Jose. So take it away, Romeo.
Good afternoon, Chair Cohen, Vice Chair Kamei, and members of the Rules Committee. My name is Michael Lomeo, and I am Mayor Mahan, Senior Land Use and Economic Development Policy Advisor. My colleague Jessica Borough and I are here to present a proposal co-signed by the Mayor, Vice Mayor Foley, Councilmember Candelas, Ortiz, and Salas, taking inspiration from the process to name City Hall's Rotunda after former Mayor Janet Gray Hayes. This effort has been coordinated between the Office of Cultural Affairs, Department of Public Works, and the City Attorney's Office. This initiative not only celebrates the rich cultural history of our city, but also honors one of the most iconic moments in music history, the Grateful Dead's first performance. December 4th, 2025, later this year, will mark 60 years since the Grateful Dead played their very first show, not far from where we are sitting today. The exact location was at a residence located at 43 South 5th Street, which today is the site of the City Hall wing and council chambers. This marks a pivotal moment in both our city's history and the broader music world, and we believe the time has come to formally commemorate this milestone. With that, I would like to turn the rest of the presentation over to Jess Borough.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chair Cohen, Vice Chair Kamei, and members of the committee. My name is Jessica Borough, and I serve as Mayor Mahan's Economic Development Policy Advisor. Our memo today outlines key recommendations to honor this historic event and celebrate San Jose's rich legacy as a hub for musical and cultural history. First, we recommend exploring the installation of an artistically designed plaque here on the exterior of the San Jose City Hall campus. This plaque would recognize the location of the Grateful Dead's first performance and would serve as a permanent tribute to their legacy. Secondly, we propose coordinating with the community-based organization, San Jose Rocks, to privately fundraise for the creation and installation of this plaque. This collaboration will ensure that the plaque is not only a reflection of San Jose's musical history, but also a community-driven project. We also recommend staff reports back over the short term, 30 days, with cost estimates for the plaque's installation and final verification site. The decision on the final site will be made collaboratively, involving council offices, community partners, city staff, and the mayor's office. Additionally, we're excited about the possibility of hosting a special event to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Grateful Dead's first concert later this year. We envision a celebration that honors not just the band's legacy, but also the city's unique role in the development of the countercultural movements of the 1960s. And in a perfect world, the goal is to reveal the installed plaque and host a ceremony commemorating 60 years since their first performance. And I'll just end on this. Throughout this process, I've come to truly appreciate just how dedicated and passionate the Grateful Dead's fan base is. And honestly, even within the walls of City Hall, you just might bump into a fellow Deadhead. So with that, Michael and I are available for any questions you may have.
All right, thank you so much. We'll go to public comment first.
We currently have 3 speaker cards. I'll call your names in no particular order. As soon as you get to the mic, you can go ahead and speak. Dan, David, and Mark.
Good afternoon, members of the Rules Committee. Thank you very much. I'm Dan Orloff. I'm a San Jose resident, founder of San Jose Rocks, a former member of the Board of Directors of History San Jose, and a proud member of a Rotary Club of San Jose. I've spent years highlighting San Jose's role in rock music and in the technologies that have shaped the soundtrack of our planet since the first radio station went live in 1909, just a few blocks from here. Today I want to talk about another historic first that happened right here in San Jose, on this very spot on December 4, 1965, inside a frat house that once stood at 43 South 5th Street. The Grateful Dead played their first show under that name. That moment right here was the beginning of something that would grow into one of the most influential musical legacies of all time. The Grateful Dead's impact is hard to overstate. They've sold over 35 million albums worldwide, have drawn record-breaking crowds, including 107,000 fans at Raceway Park in New Jersey in 1977, and changed the way bands interact with their fans. Today, their influence is still strong, with over 3 million followers on social media and a devoted global community. And their story isn't over yet. Dead & Company, the new incarnation of the surviving members of the Grateful Dead's recent residency at the Sphere in Las Vegas, grossed over $131 million, selling 477,000 tickets. Wow. Proving that their music is still super relevant. San Jose has a chance to recognize its role in history by placing a plaque at City Hall to commemorate where it all began. I encourage you to support this item so that we can properly mark this important piece of rock and roll history. And for anyone that wants to learn more about the connection between the
Thank you. That's your time.
Good afternoon. My name is David Borough. I'm a member of Musicians Union Local 6, former secretary of San Jose Federation of Musicians, Local 153 here in San Jose. And I rise to share with you a resolution passed by the Board of Musicians Union Local 6 last fall and subsequently passed in December by the South Bay Labor Council. Resolution honoring members of Musician Union Local 6 of the American Federation of Musicians and requesting commemorative artwork and plaque at site of December 4th, 1965, initial Grateful Dead performance at 43 South 5th Street in San Jose, California. Whereas a profound cultural shift occurred in the United States during the mid-1960s, and whereas this cultural shift was in large part musical and driven in large part by AFM member musicians in San Jose and the greater Bay Area, and whereas Musicians Union Local 6 members Jerry Garcia, Phil Lesh, Bobby Weir, Ron Pigpen McKernan, and Billy Kreutzmann were primary movers of the above-mentioned mid-1960s musical cultural shift, which created decades of covered work for AFM musicians, IATSE stagehands, and IBEW electricians and others, and whereas the first performance of the above-named AFM Local 6 members under the name Grateful Dead took place on Saturday, December 4th, 1965, at 43 South 5th Street in San Jose, be it resolved. Musicians Union Local 6 of the American Federation of Musicians honors our Grateful Dead members for their tremendous contributions to our musical cultural heritage, and be it further resolved that Musicians Union Local 6 requests the South Bay Labor Council also honor these union members by passing a similar resolution, and be it further resolved that Musicians Union Local 6 joins with others in acknowledging the initial performance of these Musician Union Local 6 members on December.
Thank you. That's your time.
Hi, my name is Mark Purdy, a resident of San Jose District 6, but a fan of all districts. I wrote columns and stories for the San Jose Mercury News for 34 years before I retired in 2017. Almost all of them were about sports, but not all were, which explains why I'm here. About 20 years ago on a football road trip, I was reading a book on a plane somewhere, and it was called The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test. It was about Ken Kesey, countercultural figure and author. That one whole chapter in the book was focused on a legendary party Kesey threw at a house in downtown San Jose on the night of December 4th, 1965, at which the Grateful Dead made their first official public performance. And I wonder, how come I'd never heard about that? Where was that house? It wasn't, the address was in the book. Now, I'm not a Deadhead or even their biggest fan, but I am a big fan of music and history in San Jose. So I began digging. I unearthed more details about San Jose's musical legacy in so many areas, as well as the location of that 1965 party where the Dead played their first show. One account of the evening says that members of the Rolling Stones, who were playing a show at San Jose Civic that same night, stopped by to see what was happening. The Mercury News editors let me write a story about all this. My friend Dan Orloff picked up on the story and threw himself headfirst into forming San Jose Rocks with a mission to shine a bright light on San Jose and the area's underpublicized, unappreciated musical milestones. And as I guess you know by now, it turns out that first Grateful Dead show took place right here on this spot. It was a real kick for us when Gary Singh, who's also here, obtained an aerial photo of downtown San Jose from the 60s, including the house at 43 South 5th, and overlaid it on a current aerial photo, and we discovered the house stood directly over the council chambers. In fact, I believe Jerry Garcia kicked out his first psychedelic guitar solo right about where Councilmember Cohen is sitting, which is pretty groovy, you know? So I'm here today to ask that the council commemorate the 60th anniversary of that night in 1965 with a plaque somewhere on the city hall.
Thank you.
And on those trips, I visited the Beach Boys Monument in Hawthorne, there's a plaque. I visited Dan Morrison's house in Belfast, North Ireland, there's a plaque. I visited Elvis's birthplace in Tupelo, Mississippi, there's a plaque. I visited the headquarters of Chess Records in Chicago, where Chuck Berry made his first records. There's a plaque. We need a plaque right here, too, both to mark the site of one of America's most historic musical nights and to let other musical pilgrims, like myself, know exactly where that amazing event occurred. Here. I hope you all agree. Thank you.
Well, we'll look forward to we'll put a plaque right on the back of this chair, I think, based on where that location was. Thank you so much for being here. Dan, I still have San Jose Rock's website open on my phone after your presentation because it's very interesting to me to learn more about the musical history of San Jose. And I'm excited to see the next generation of Deadheads right there in the box from the mayor's office. Before I go to turn to the vice mayor, I just wanted to ask staff there about the timing for the 30-day report back and what the next step would be in terms of any motion that moves forward.
Yeah, it can be a green light so long as we have some flexibility on the 30 days so we can work with San Jose Rocks on the details of the installation and costs.
And it would report
Dan
back
forgot to mention that he's also a former staffer at City Hall as part of his resume as well.
It would report back to rules, to the
I think we could report back to rules. Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, Vice Mayor.
How exciting. Dan, I saw your presentation at Rotary on the history of rock and roll in San Jose and did not know this was the site of the Grateful Dead. I have a lot of Deadheads in my family. They follow the Dead, or did, all over the country, following them around. So I'm just wondering if you can bring back the Merry Pranksters too, which would be fun. I will absolutely move approval of this groovy resolution and ask that it come back as soon as staff can bring it back.
All right, we have a motion and a second. I don't think there's any other hands up, so let's move to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries 5-0.